It's like how many slaps on the wrist do you get before? If I feel like if I recognize your name from timing you out, you've probably been timed out too much. We did 3-2 a second time yesterday. Want to be Beetle? Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. I'm feeling good. 12 is actually not that bad. I was dragging a little bit towards the very end, but overall, it was not bad. 12 is much less than 6 is much less than. Oh, I missed a tenner. Following through on my word for yesterday, $5 per 3 or better. Thank you, gamer. I appreciate it. All right. In we go. Yeah, this archetype's sweet. We played this a little bit on stream before. Yes, speaking of sweet, this hand's great. I love getting to play a bunch of copies of Secluded Glen. Having, like, painless dual lands is great. I think I'm going to make a point to do at least one 12-hour a month. Like, getting one long stream in definitely pumps the sub count a little bit. And it had been more than a day since I'd played. Huh. I guess it's just Gitu, right? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take Gitu here. We have Bitterblossom. I think I'll Bitterblossom next turn, probably. Maybe I'm supposed to take Delver and then play Bitterblossom. I guess if I sequence like this, I probably want to Brutality the Delver on too. This is not my deck. This has Shivan Reese and Gitu Love Runner in it. Not every deck with Delver and Wizard Lightning is the same. What's the amount to cut the line? It's 100 to kick a deck out that's already in the line, Apprentice. Guaranteed get you over everything. That's actually a pretty sweet draw. It really makes me want to play this Bitterblossom this turn, but I feel like they're likely like a pseudo burn deck, so I probably just want to be pretty conservative with my health total. I don't have any double black cards in my deck, right? Yeah, 0 double black cards. Good mana building. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I don't think I want to double escalate, but I definitely want to take an opt out of their hand, I think. So I think I'm gonna ditch this Polluted Delta just so I don't have to take damage from it. Opt and bolt. I think I'm going to take the opt here. I think I just want to, like, limit their access to threats this game. And, like, opt is basically going to help them increase their threat density. What do you think about cutting 2 to 3 discard spells for Ancestral Vision? I think my response to questions like that is always the same. What issue does this deck have that you think you're fixing by making that change? What problem is the archetype currently experiencing that making that change adds value to it? Don't make changes just to make changes. Make changes with a goal in mind. I guess if I draw like Fatal Push here or a discard spell, I feel kind of bad that I discarded this. Alright, that's sweet. I'm gonna do that and just play this Bitterblossom out now. The tireless rat track pile in the queue. Seems interesting. Thank you, Apprentice. I appreciate that. The 10k bit pride cheer is sweet. I'm gonna put that. It's all sparkles and dances and stuff. Thank you very much, Apprentice. That's very generous as always. And it does sound awesome. All right, what do we got here? No flips. Steal. So you have Bolt plus Vapor Snag here. Update my title here. It's 200 to cut a cut? Yeah, let's go with that. Or just 100 to slot in behind a cut. If you want to be the league after this one. Okay, Fatal Push is a great draw. We get to Fatal Push this Delver Secrets. I'm gonna Fatal Push on their upkeep here because one, I might get to see a card off their Delver Revealing, and two, this way what they want to Vapor Snag it, they have to spend the mana on their turn. So I'm gonna Fatal Push this now. They'll probably Vapor Snag it. I'll Sprite the snag. Yeah, Sprite's very good with Blossom in play. It's okay, Wannabe Beetle. You're still special to me. Nope. Alright. Aggro.deck. Dismember and Brutality are probably pretty good here. The Thoughtseize are probably pretty good. Honestly, our main deck feels pretty well set up here. I don't think this is a Damnation matchup. I don't think they quite go wide enough. Sword of Light and Shadow is probably fine because it gains its health. Cryptic Command's probably a little bit slow. I wonder if Batterskull is just better than Cryptic. It's probably better than Cryptic. Dispel's probably not bad either. Cryptic's pretty expensive. Yeah, let's do this. See how it feels. Are you all that are here? Are you sad that I'm not currently cubing? Should we stop playing Constructed and Cube like every other Magic Online streamer? Alright, I'm gonna shock this in and just get my Inquisition on here. So, we get to Inquisition here, we get to Fatal Push tap land on 2. They have a Spell Pierce? Gross. Cuber Riot. For dealer's choice, I gotta get my first time out, of course, End. Thank you for the bits, I appreciate it. I'm aware that cube is boring. That was me making a funny for those that are new to the stream. We don't cube on this channel. Or let me rephrase. We only cube on this channel like we do everything else for large amounts of money. They missed their land, and we hit this, which means I get to go ahead and play Bitterblossom this turn. No, I went 2 and 1 in the second one, or 1 and 2. We had people ponying up for a couple of cubes. There's definitely multiple cube drafts on the thing. Okie doke. Are we done here? Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Alrighty then. There's probably some of you at home that have never read a Sword of Light and Shadow before. Why don't you just sit down and let me tell you a story. Sit down and Let Papa Hogland tell you a story about his sweet equipment. Oh, the Wizard Lightning got us. Put this towards Blue-White Spirit, 10 out of 10, Wubin. I appreciate the support. Thank you. I guess we're just taking this hit here, huh? Yeah, if Stoneforge was legal, I think there would be a lot of sweet black-white Stoneblade decks. If like Stoneforge was unbanned, we'd probably be playing. We'd probably have like a day or two of just like all Stoneforge decks. All right, what do you got here? My poor little fairy rogue. He was so young, opponent. He had so much to live for. He had so much to live for. Oh, geez, that's legendary, chat. That one is legendary. Like, can't cast that one down. No, sir. Insert meme here. Brecken, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Remember, we have the fancy Google form to submit new decks with now. Alternatively, if you want to bump something that's already in the queue, just drop me a private message. Alright. Alright. Let the soul ass connect, baby. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Alright, we're done here. Excellent. This is my sword. My sword is amazing. Do 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 do. The question I've gotten most from people when they look at this Blue-Black Fairies list compared to other Blue-Black Fairies lists is why are Sword and Batterskull here? And the answer to that question is they are repeatable card advantage sources that also allow us to gain some health. So they're very good in the grindy matchups. Because in my experience playing this deck, when you tend to lose the grindy matchups because they burned you out, not because you didn't have enough card advantage or card quality. So being able to buffer your health total is very valuable. I'll play Mutavault here. If they play a cantrip like a Thought Scour and Optima end of turn, I'm probably just going to sprite it and start beating them down. This is actually a second match. We beat the Delver Wizards person we were just playing against. I'm gonna sneak her in here. Remand, rude. Into an opt. Yep. Probably gonna be a matchup where Cryptic's a little bit medium. I'm gonna play her now as a sorcery, so that way we can get her in under other potential counter magic. Oh, they're playing Storm. Okay. With main deck pieces, that's really interesting. I think I want to just take Manamorphose here. Well, I guess this is their real card advantage. Yeah, I'm actually just going to take pieces here. If we get to untap and like hit a blue sorcerer too, we'll be in a very good spot here. Morning, Uncle. Push you off a cliff. So Storm, it went to skip to the deck. This matchup's actually very... Should have a lot of back and forth, especially for this deck. We have a lot of good tools. Perfect. Think about Aethersphere Harvester over Sword. It doesn't require mana to activate. That's interesting. Aethersphere Harvester is definitely better against aggressive decks, but you like lose some of your ability to grind. I'm actually gonna go ahead and end step Cryptic, bounce a Steam Vents here. And while this doesn't really accomplish a whole lot, I'm just looking to turn my cards into cheaper interaction, basically. Like, double Cryptic in my hand is not particularly good. And, like, turning it into, like, more Spellstutter Sprites here is just, like, A+. I think I'm actually just going to pass here with, like, double Sprite plus Fatal Push-Up. If they just pass again, I'm going to end step Cryptic Bounce again, I think. I don't think I want a Brutality here. I think I'd rather hold up Sprite Push. So, do I want to Sprite this? I don't think I do. So I know they have Ritual plus Manamorphose. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to Sprite this. Probably supposed to Sprite this. I guess if I'm spriting that, am I supposed to... Yeah, I think I messed this up. I think I should have Collective Brutality last turn if I was spriting the Boreal. They're gonna Grape Shot me. Morphos, sure. Off my timeout and ready to put my boots on for Hooglandia. Thank you, 9ball, for the 3 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, I should have done this last turn. Alright. They got a whole lot of nothing. We could be in trouble if they rip exactly Past in Flames. They did not, so they're dead. Alright, so cast down's pretty terrible here. Some amount of Cryptic Commands come out. Dispel and Negate and Collective Brutality and Damping Sphere certainly come in. I'm always split. So this is one of the things that's awkward in this archetype is, against Storm specifically, when you don't have access to Lightning Bolt in a matchup like this, you have to, like, ask yourself the question, like, how many Fatal Pushes and pieces of spot removal do I want to leave in my deck? Because, like, when I'm drawing these cards and they don't have a creature in play, like, it feels, like, really bad, right? Honestly, maybe this isn't a 4th Brutality matchup, and I just, like, want to leave all of these in. I feel like if I keep their creatures off the table, they have a pretty hard time winning. Maybe trimming a Blossom on the draw is fine. I could see that being fine. Why do we have to Sprite instead of Cryptic the second Barrel? I guess even if they had a remand there, we would have been okay. Maybe we're supposed to Cryptic the second one. I don't think Stroke is good in this matchup. Generally speaking, good Storm players board out their Gifts Ungiven and some of their Past in Flames against disruption-heavy decks. So I think boarding in Disdainful Stroke tends to be bad in this matchup. Yeah, I guess Clique's absurd. Alright, I'm gonna do this. They're playing Pieces main, they'll switch to Ascension. Possibly. It's always hard to tell. Like, it's like this Bob and Weave, which is why, again, why, like, the non-Lightning Bolt decks have a harder time against Storm, even if they do have a lot of good tools, because, like, sometimes they're just, like, gonna have a mana creature, and you like don't have a ton of removal, because if you have too much removal, you know, things clunk up for you when they don't have it. Let's do this. The fact that like Baral doesn't die to Brutality is such a tilt. Thankfully, that one dies to Brutality though. So let's go Glen, Blossom, Brutality here. Oh, actually, you know what? This was a mistake. They're playing Fetch Storm, which means we could get Blood Moon to this game. Alright, no Blood Moon. God bless. Just gonna take their pieces here. The rest of their hand doesn't do a whole ton. They are 10 out of 10 about to repeal this Bitterblossom, but I don't really have a lot else to do, so I'm just going to play it out. This means if we draw a Damping Sphere later, it's more valuable. Alright, so they have Grape Shot, Ritual, Bolt, this is a cantrip. This is why I played the fetch land instead of the Watery Grave tapped, because of Blood Moon. And again, this is like really like small edges that you gain by being familiar with what the opponent's doing. Like, it's because I noticed they had a Polluted Delta game 1 that Blood Moon was on my radar. So Modern's really just one of those formats where you stand to gain a lot of small edges just by being aware of like the little nuanced things that go on in the format as different lists changed and evolved. I think I'm actually just going to take their Grape Shot here. I don't want it to be able to kill my stuff. Yesterday went okay. The traditional control builds were actually pretty reasonable. Probably Mistbind Clique next turn. I didn't want to Mistbind Clique last turn because I didn't want them to like bolt my only fairy token in response, making me have to champion my Bitterblossom. I would like to champion this one. I would like to tap your lands, please. It's like a Restoration Angel. I just like Time Walks them. It's so good. Nice Blood Moon, by the way, opponent. I guess we did technically kill them with Creature Lands last game. In a way, Blood Moon rewards the opponent for metagame and deck familiarity. Please provide validation for your statement. In what way does it reward the opponent for being metagaming and deck familiarity? Please provide context. I deserve a timeout for these feels. You're just unlucky if you're having to mulligan a lot because of Mutavault. The best way to think about Mutavault, and enough people don't think about their lands enough in this way in my experience, is that Mutavault is a land that you wouldn't normally be playing as a land. Mutavault is a spell in your deck. It's just a spell that happens to help you cast some of your... It's a spell that happens to cast Snapcaster Mage on occasion. Like, that's the way you need to approach it. Yeah, Mutavault isn't a land slot, it's a threat slot. You're playing an 18 land deck is what you're playing. Alright, you have 5 mana. Am I dead? Is my board dead? They have a bolt here. Oh yeah, they should be pretty dead here. Unless they have like a Grape Shot. Yep. Why no, Stormcrow? Asking the real questions. Alright, well that's a pretty easy 2040 to start. And it definitely, I know what you mean. It definitely feels bad, like looking at these cards that say land on them and being like, I can't keep this hand because I can't cast this spell. But wannabe Beetle, when I see comments like that, I get itchy. Just so you know. Just so you know, don't tempt me. This hand's pretty medium if they're playing an aggressive deck, but I think it's a keep in the dark. Like, I have like a pseudo blue Doomblade. I think blue-white control is probably better than I've given it a lot of credit for, Justin. Justin, do you follow me on Twitter, Justin? I posted a updated list yesterday of what I plan to play when blue-white control hits the top of the queue. We have someone asked me to play how I would build blue-white control. I think this was it. Yeah, this is it. This is what I would build, Justin. This is what I'd build, I think. Yeah, the thought scours were really good. The thought scours were really good. I concur with that assessment. Do I? I'm gonna like check for a Path to Exile here, I think. They're playing humans. Okay. I guess I should have assumed this. My brain just kind of went to blue-white spirits because I saw Seachrome Coast Vial, but I guess my brain should have gone to humans. That was a mistake on my part. Yeah, Blood Rage Brawler seems sweet. Other people have been playing that card. This hand is not good against humans. Yeah, Trip Snake is kind of scary. I guess Clique like beats all of them in combat, right? Mistbind. I don't think the approaches are good enough. I think if I wanted a card for the control mirrors, I'd just play something else. I guess I get to Vendilion Clique myself here and put Sprite on the bottom of my deck, which is kind of nice. Yeah, the curve on the blue-white list is really great. Really, really great. I guess if I... yeah, we're just super dead here. I guess I could draw Fatal Push. If I draw Fatal Push, we could be maybe okay. I'm going to click myself, trade with Mantis Rider, and then if we draw Fatal Push, we can push Snap Push, and then like maybe be in this game. I just didn't have room for Chad. I want to try Obstructionist. I ran out of slots. Fitting Thought Scours in takes a lot of slots out of the deck. The Vapor Snags just underperformed. I didn't think they were good enough. Just like consistently, just pretty consistently unimpressive, underwhelming. Didn't feel like they were worth the slot. It's worth it to gain some health. I feel like it is. I'm just going to trim all these Spellstutter Sprites. They're pretty bad in this matchup. Let's see how this goes. Brutality and Inquisition are both kind of medium, but I think they're fine. Inquisition breaking up their curve a little bit is good. Brutality's fine. It's just like a -2/-2 for 2. Occasionally gain some life. I think Bragevine needs a ban. I think Faithless Looting is like Ancient Stirrings and living on borrowed time. I think Batterskull is not good enough because they're probably going to leave Reflector Mage in. I think like getting our Batterskull during Reflector Mage feels bad. Speaking of banned and restricted list updates, my article is up on Cool Stuff Inc. So my articles post every Wednesday now, so you can look at that. There's my thoughts. These ones, get rid of them. Get them gone. They should be gone. I don't know why they're still legal. And give me toys back, please. And if you want to read about why I would do the things I would do, you should do this. It is my build, but we had to cut the line donation, so Blue-Red's gonna get pushed back till tomorrow. I think Twin's probably just, like, okay in general for the current format. Like, I think it's really absurd that, like, Twin isn't legal on, like, the other things in this format that are legal are legal. What's going on, Hawk? Welcome to a live one. Let's play safe. For some reason, you had to play a Devastation Tide in the blue-white list. What would you replace? The Nimble Obstructionists are kind of the flex slots. Is my Moto dying? I think my Moto's dying. Should I relog? Alright, and I'm gonna relog. Well, we're waiting for Moto to, you know, do Moto things. Thanks for bringing it out, folks. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, look at that. Look at the fucking Magic Online. Just, like, locks up in the... By the way, Jeff, there's a Moto update. Let me just lock up in the middle of the game and then make you download an update. Magic Online. Oh, Magic Online. I'm glad my internet's fast, I guess. Fast-ish. I'm glad I play quickly, so, like, being down on clock doesn't matter. Why do I try to stream on Wednesdays? Why do I even try to stream on Wednesdays? Sometimes I wonder. Oh, I wonder. Ooh, why do I stream on Wednesdays? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, are we back? Look, license agreements. All right. Oh, maybe we're back. All right, let me log in. Guess who's back? Back again. Moto's back. Maybe friends. Moto's back. Is it back? Is it dead? No one knows. Do 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 do. Oh, good. My string constant is out of date again. Yay. I really want to know, like, what their code base looks like that keeps making it back into builds. Can you talk about what bad things happen if they unban top? The bad things that happen when they unban Sensei's Dividing Top is I have to watch my opponents activate Sensei's Dividing Top twice a turn every turn until they ban it out of the format. That's why Sensei's Dividing Top should stay where it is. Because I never want to watch my opponents activate that card twice a turn every turn. It's miserable. You know how when my opponent's playing Tron and I'm playing like a really complicated combo deck or control deck and I'm still up 5 to 10 minutes on clock? Yeah. If you give these people Sensei's Divining Tops, instead of me being up 5 to 10 minutes on clock, I'll be up 15 and 20 minutes on clock, and it'll just be very annoying. Even when you're winning those games, it's still not a pleasant experience for the person winning the game, because it just takes so long. It's not good. It's not good. The problem is that, like, the problem with that is Torpor Orb is just, like, really slow against Bridgevine. Sorry, Justin. The reality of it is that's what it is. My body is ready for this Damnation to get Meddling Maged. Yeah, I'm aware of Raging Nebula. My point is that even if that's not BS, if that's like something that's genuine, like, that's not a good reason to... I'm getting Kite Sail Freebooted here. Nope. Alright. Deal. I am super confused why they took this Collective Brutality instead of the Damnation. Yeah, I'm about an hour north of Springfield in Bloomington. I actually worked in Springfield for like a year and a half when I was teaching. I think banning Burning Inquiry and Stitcher Supplier is silly. I would much rather that they ban the actual powerful card selection. Powerful card selection is like really boring to play against. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to activate this one. Yeah, this one. Alright. Alright, Turpit, let's get frisky. Did I work on the Sims? No. Yeah, so okay, that makes sense, Rang. The original reason Cloud Post is what got Green Sun Zenith banned is basically what it comes down to. Alright, maybe their hand's worse than ours, and like, these creature lands just gonna like run the distance here. That's a Lieutenant. Sure. Mardu Pyromancer be dead with a Faithless Looting ban. So, it's really weird, but believe it or not, I can't see the future. And people talked about every time you ban any supplemental piece to any deck in Modern or Magic, people all freak out and say that, oh no, I can't play the deck anymore, it's unplayable, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, what if we just, like, calm down and, like, actually put in some of the work and test? Because guess what? Banning Ayavugan, that didn't kill Tron. Banning Summer Bloom, that didn't kill Amulet Titan. Like, all these people saying that, like, these decks are guaranteed dead without it, those people are lazy and just want to be confrontational, and I guarantee you they haven't put in the actual work to know what they're saying is true. They just want to upset people, basically, is what it comes down to. Splinter Twin wasn't banning an enabler. The Splinter Twin and Pod bannings... Pod's a little different. The Splinter Twin banning is different from banning cards like cantrips. The Splinter Twin bannings was banning the payoff card. It wasn't banning the enabler. Banning Faithless Looting and Ancient Stirrings is more akin to banning Summer Bloom than it is to banning Splinter Twin. How would Griselbrand survive? It would be a slower deck, which is why it's probably a good ban. Because if you take a deck that's obnoxious and you just make it slightly less obnoxious by making it slightly slower, that's probably a fine reason to ban it. You could also play Insolent Neonate, or more Cathartic Reunions, or Tormenting Voices. There are so many other tools you could play to get a similar effect. Would the decks be weaker? Yes, 100%. But that's fine, because a lot of those decks are better than are marginally better than the other decks in the format. That's how you design and keep a format well balanced. You put in other cards, or you take small pieces away from them to pull their power level back down towards the rest of the format. The point is to take the things that are likely a little bit better and just make them a bit worse, so that way everything has a flatter power level. Modern is the great format that it is because there's generally a pretty flat power level, and taking the top decks and pulling their power level down to make it flatter on occasion is a good way to approach the format, in my opinion. Yes, Storm is the I will survive poster boy. Yep. That's a great draw, because it means I can Vendilion Clique now. Do I even want to click here? No, I'm actually just going to fire up this Tar Pit. Why not unban stronger cards instead of banning arguably weaker ones? Because that when you have a bunch of powerful cards legal in the format, you end up with a format like Legacy. Legacy is a format that has less playable cards than Modern, even though it has a decade's more worth of cards that are legal. When you have a format that's high powered, only high powered cards become playable, which reduces diversity in the format by making other less powerful cards unplayable because they can't keep up with the other things. By flattening the power level of the format, you're far more likely to have more diversity because more cards can be competitive. There's nothing wrong with Storm. I think Storm is a fine deck to have in the format, and the current power level of it doesn't imply that it's too good by any way, shape, or form. Storm is a combo deck that cares about discard and counter spells and removal to a degree. It gets interacted with by Graveyard Hate and Damping Sphere. There are a ton of different ways to interact with Storm on a lot of different axes. I think it's a fine deck to have in the format. Read my article, chat. My point for why these cards shouldn't be legal has nothing to do with power level. It has nothing to do with power level. It has everything to do with being consistent and keeping the other things that are obnoxious out of the format. You can always find my articles here, bit.ly/Google articles. No, I don't think I want to bolt this bird. I don't want to push their mana creature. I think I'd much rather, the way my hand is set up, just like kill every threat that they play for the rest of the game. This might be wrong. This might be wrong. I think Humans is a great deck to have in the format. It's a deck that cares about, it's doing very honest things and cares about removal. Like, I think it's a good deck to have in the format. I would not do. This article isn't behind a paywall. It can't be worth my time. Yeah, push snap push could have been appealing here, definitely. So like, I think I just click here and then I can snap cast down next turn. I'm gonna click in response. This could be a bluff because they know I have the click, but I'm playing the click anyways, so might as well. They have like a champion of the parish, I'm gonna take it away. They have another noble hierarch. Ooh, they have Snapcaster. Yeah, that one's gotta go. Bye, friend. They get to Sin Collector me this turn, but I still get to Snapcast on them next turn. Is our deck good? Our deck's playable. I think it's fine. I think we have the tools to be competitive in a lot of different matches of Magic. We beat Storm and we beat Blue-Red aggro in this league so far, so we're 2-0. This is game 3 against humans. It could go either way. Thanks, Eastmove. I think a lot of people miss that distinction between variance and variety. Read my donation. Jeff, if we switch to chess clocks and paper, can I have my top back? No, stop it. Stop it, no. I think chess clocks would be sweet, but no. We're probably going to get Phantasmal Imaged here then, and we're going to lose both of our spells. We're still not in that bad of a spot, especially if we can rip a Damnation. Like, rip Damnation here would be absurd. I know this Vendilion Clique doesn't look like it, but it's actually a blue Doomblade. So, you gotta make sure you look at your cards in the right light here. So, we're gonna probably Snapcast down something and then trade Clique for something else next turn. A Bloomblade, if you would. Modern is always healthy. It's always healthy. Outside of Eldrazi Winter, Modern is always extremely varied. So it's healthy. The argument of it's healthy, so thus we should never make changes is a really bad argument in my opinion, because that's like saying Modern's healthy, so we should stop letting new cards that are printed be legal in the format because one of those new cards could be bad for the format and make it less healthy than it currently is. So I think that's a dishonest approach. Yeah, if Faithless Looting was just red Careful Study, it probably wouldn't be playable. It would be much less good. This attack is great for us. We get kind of punished by waiting here if they drew, like, exactly a Phantasmal Image or another Lieutenant, but I think I like waiting there. Would really like to draw Doomblade here. Yeah, I guess Meddling Mage would have been pretty punishing too. They could have, like, named their thing. Hank, we're playing this. Feels bad, man. We're gonna take 4 this turn down to 8, and then we have a short clock on this. That's scary. Damnation, please. Yeah, this is why. This is why discard spells feel bad. I make a lot of Magic content. Speaking of my Magic content and basically always being on, people that are familiar with my live schedule is going to be changing starting next week. So, I should have attacked them with Tar Pit probably, right? Jake starts school again next week, so my schedule is going to be, it's actually going to be the same every day. I'm going to be doing 10 to 4, so 6 hours a day, Monday through Friday. I think Bueller would be good in Death and Taxes. In Legacy? I have no idea. I don't play Legacy. It's probably worse than Recruiter of the Guard, though. I guess the body's a little bit bigger, but the effect is much less powerful. In Modern. Death and Taxes isn't really a deck in Modern. Like, Death and Taxes is like bad humans. 10 to 4 Cornfield time. Why does Jeff get to work 6 hours a day when I work 8? So, I'm live for 6 hours a day, but you can ask Christy. I work a lot more than when I'm live. At a minimum, I am working plus 1 hour for every day that I stream outside of the stream between putting deck lists together and responding to messages and stuff. It's not, I don't know, like, it's quite 50%. Recently, it's been pretty close to 50% because I've been working on my website stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I do when I'm not live. And I do a lot more than a lot of other content creators as far as Twitch goes with, like, offline stuff as well. Between my website's taken a ton of time recently, but I'm also very happy with the results of it, so I can't really complain. Even if we rip a Damnation at this point, we're gonna be in trouble because they have another Bugler in their hand. Mistbind clicking Bitterblossom to not die definitely comes up. It's definitely a thing that you care about on occasion or happens on occasion. Speaking of, yep, go. Bugler is very good. Yeah, all the work that's going into the website is done by me personally. This is making enough to be a job, but not enough to hire other people to do other stuff. The only thing I'm paying for on the website is I have an art person that I pay for art assets. They missed on the Bugler trigger. Maybe we have a chance. Organized Twitch. Alright, so get to slam this into play and get rid of the Bitterblossom. Super dead to, like, anything here. If I'm being completely honest, I had set some loose goals for myself when I started streaming, and at this point, I have blown through every loose goal I had set for myself. So, I don't really know, like, what... I am kind of lost as to what realistic goals could be. Like, for context right now, I currently have, almost 1,600 unique subscribers, and I definitely thought, like, 1,000 or so was the tippy top of what Magic could do. Yeah, you're not wrong. There is a WordPress plugin for basically everything. All right, so I need to do this. I hope to play Twin and Stoneforge in the same modern deck. I'm expecting there to be no changes. While it would be really sweet if Wizards did do the things I listed, I would be surprised if they did any of them. Do you need me to be your stream manager? Removal spell. Well, I mean... Okay. Grrr. How's your food sponsorship coming along? Working on it. I believe it's Monday. If they drew Mantis Rider here, we do die because I attacked, but I need to end the game. I need to close things out. So, they could vial this in after I tap their creatures. It's a pretty medium draw. Yeah, the Damnation is a little awkward at this point. If I tap Bounce Vial... No, I think I'm far enough behind at this point that I'm just, like, not beating Mantis Rider regardless, so I need to draw more cards to try and catch back up. I think Bouncing Vial is playing to not lose, whereas if I draw more cards, I could possibly get ahead and eventually win. Itty bitty bugle boy, company B. I actually haven't updated my LinkedIn in a while. That's one of the upsides to doing this. I don't really need to keep a current resume. Once upon a time I had my resume on my website. That is no longer the case. Oh, well, let's not draw Damnation this turn. Probably dead now. With one Cryptic, I have lethal. Do I? I actually have lethal now, don't I? Snapcaster Mage was the perfect draw. We hit them to 9, and then next turn we snap Cryptic, and then attack with the Tar Pit for lethal. This was... This was a game. This was a game, chat. We could get gut-shotted here. You're not wrong. I think this time we bounce the Aether Vial, right? Yeah, now we bounce Vial. And then if they draw a creature that they drew a creature that they can play as a blocker, I just need to draw a removal spell. It's possible because this Bugler bricked, I'm supposed to not do this and draw a card, because this Bugler bricking implies that they either hit a bunch of lands or a bunch of Mantis Riders and stuff. So I bounced Vial because this means they can't put a Mantis Rider into play after Cryptic Command resolves. Is the reason I bounced Vial here. It also means they can't put an instant speed blocker to get in the way of my Snapcaster Mage. Sure, but this way I can still actually draw a removal spell. Like here, I can draw another Cryptic, or I can draw Fatal Push or Collective Brutality to kill them here. Unless they have two creatures. They have two creatures they can play out here. That's not true. They have another creature. Well, that's unfortunate for us. Alright, well now we need to draw another Cryptic Command, which I think we're already through two of them. Yeah, we have one Cryptic in our deck. And Damnation is not an out because the Bitterblossom kills us. Collective Brutality still does it. Oh, Brutality still does it, right? I have 4 of those because it kills and drains. Alright, 5 outs. That was a close game. It was a really, really close game. When someone else said they thought we were dead 6 turns ago too, I was inclined to agree with you, but I was just like going through the motions that The fact that we ended up with 5 outs here at the end is, like, really impressive. This deck's got some legs to it. Drawing wouldn't have mattered. Drawing makes it more likely that we can't kill them. No, push wouldn't have been lethal. Alright. While we're waiting for the 4th match in this league to pop, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time stream, meme, and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30+ hours a week. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do this because I love it, but my subscribers are the reason I'm able to do this day in and day out. They're quite literally the folks that keep me employed. If you're one of the many people in the world who has Amazon Prime, if you link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, you get Twitch Prime included with that for free, and Twitch Prime gives you a free channel subscription every single month to a channel of your choice here on Twitch. If you're one of the many people in the world who watches me on YouTube in the future, and your schedule doesn't quite line up with my live schedule, you can come through your Twitch Prime at me when I'm offline as well. I really appreciate the folks that do that. Past subscribing, you can also support my content by, support my content by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards directly with the players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles using promo code Jeff5. You can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards there. And of course, this stream wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anaronix, Justin Nivik, and all y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out today. One of the best things I've learned while watching you over the past few years is playing to win and not playing to not lose. It's such a valuable skill for Magic. Well, thank you, Rang. Don't forget to ask about your complimentary timeout after the show. I got you, Skip Dash. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate the support. Yeah, that sounds great. Probably go Glen, show you Spellstutter, cast Thoughtseize. They were at 9, Lazur. So Fatal Push, kill Kitesail, and then attack with Click and Tar Pit. Left them at 2. So it needed to be Collective Brutality or Cryptic Command. I just finished reading your article. I really like your point on why Twins should be unbanned. Honestly, I didn't even think of it that way. Yep. Like, Modern was like this brave new frontier for a really long time, and it's definitely become more refined as the format's matured. And that's like to be expected, right? And like the fact that like there's still such variety in the format in spite of these refinings is like pretty impressive. We're kind of lucky that we haven't played against any Bridgevine shenanigans yet today, and I'm sure I'm about to Thoughtseize a Bridgevine hand now that I've said that, because this build does not have any graveyard hate in the sideboard, which probably is bad moving forward. Tron! Ugh. Alright, so... Enjoyed your article on cool stuff, but I have a question, though. What do you think of Birthing Pod and its current ban set? I honestly think there's probably more than just the cards that I listed that could come off the ban list, but I think even the number of cards that I had already listed was pushing on potentially too many cards to unban. And maybe I should have talked about this in the article, but I think if you make too many changes at once to the format, it becomes hard to gauge which change was good or bad. So I think I wouldn't want to make that many changes all at the same time. Honestly, you could probably make the argument that the set of bans and unbans that I suggested, you should do those over 2 ban and restricted lists, or like do the bannings and then let the format settle and then do the unbannings. Apprentice decided he wanted to see that one before Monday, isn't Toth? Yeah, it's science. You don't want to test too many variables at once. Exactly. We're like really dead here. This is again like one of the downsides to like playing this versus a more aggressive blue-red deck is you're gonna play against Tron game 1 or a deck like Scape Shift, and your fatal pushes are gonna be real bad. It's just how it goes. Collective Brutality is pretty bad in this matchup too. Do I want Sower of Temptation in this matchup? I mean, I wrote my feelings in the article. If you'd like to address a specific point from the article, I'm happy to discuss a specific point with you. But if you just want me to reiterate to you what I already said, I'm not going to do that. That's why I wrote it down. Yeah, like, Brutality's pretty bad. I'm gonna bring the Sower. I don't know if the Sower is good, but there's a chance it's less bad than Brutality. Friendly reminder for people that are new to the channel. I love a healthy discourse and debate, but if you just pop into chat and say no, you're wrong, and provide no validation for why you feel differently, why you think what has been said is incorrect, you're gonna get a 10-minute break. That doesn't just saying no, you're wrong doesn't encourage healthy discourse. It just shuts people down. So if you're just trying to shut people down, I'm gonna shut you down for 10 minutes. So, Green Sun Zenith only decreases... It decreases gameplay variety to a degree, but you could argue you're supposed to ban every tutor at that point. Like, do we need to ban Court of Calling and Eldritch Evolution and Traverse the Elvenwald? Like, all of these cards create redundancy as well. And I think the bigger point regarding specifically Green Sun Zenith is it's a card that the consistency that it's adding happens for a very, very specific subset of decks, and the subset of decks that it's good in currently aren't good in Modern. Like, pull up MTG Goldfish and look at the 15 or 20 most popular decks. None of those decks would play Green Sun Zenith. Green creature decks are really bad in this format right now. So, unbanning a card that would give a power level boost to a potential archetype that's not as good, I think is a worthwhile addition. Thanks for the consistently awesome content. Please put all of my sub business towards Grishol brand list. 10 out of 10, Alexander. I appreciate that. Will do. Vizier decks are fringe decks in the format. Yeah, like, the flexibility on Court of Calling is, like, really big in comparison. I am Groot. Pythrion, thank you for the 13 months and welcome back. I appreciate it. I actually don't think... I think Elves is the only deck that might want Green Sun Zenith. And honestly, I genuinely am unsure if Green Sun Zenith is better than Lead the Stampede and Collected Company in that deck. It's definitely not better than Collected Company in that deck. It might be better than Lead the Stampede, but honestly, Lead the Stampede gives Elves a lot of grind. I would need to test it, but my gut instinct says that Green Sun Zenith is worse than Court and Company in Devoted Druid decks. That did not find a Tron piece, and that was not a Tron piece. We should have plenty of time to run them over here. This is the type of draw we want out of them when they're on the play game 3. So, honestly, Lost Lorgoyf, a deck like the green-white company deck, like you're talking about there, that's the type of deck that stands to see some benefit from Green Sun Zenith being unbanned. That's true. I look forward to the number of people suggesting that we do that. Yeah, my article's up on Cool Stuff Inc. It goes about 10 a.m. Central every what's it called? So You can subscribe using the link here. Do I want to misbind them during their upkeep? It's possible I should have end-stepped. I almost end-stepped the Snapcaster Mage there. I don't know if I want to misbind them during their upkeep. I think I'm just going to let this happen. And we'll see what they do. If they don't have Tron here, I think I'm going to end-step bounce this O-Stone. Green Sun, Zenith, and Infect sounds like a good addition. Guess what? Infect, currently not a tiered deck in the format. It's one of the many fringe deck that puts up reasonable results with some consistency. But it's by no means a tier 1 deck in the format. And if it's a card that could make Infect better, I think that's great. I think cards that take decks that are currently not great in the format and can be possibly made better by additions, I think those are good additions to the format. That's how I would classify a good addition to the format. I think I'm gonna Trenton Baker. Thank you very much for the brand new Twitch or tier 2 sub there. Tier 2 subs get to add some bonus points to a deck in the queue every single month, so be sure to drop me a message and let me know which deck you'd like to bump this month for that next level of support. I do appreciate it. I think I'm gonna upkeep click them. I think I'm gonna upkeep click them here. This might be aggressive. This does let me save my Bitterblossom post O-Stone though, which is nice. Unban Green Sun Zenith. Tantrum tries hard. Thank you for the 2 months and welcome back. I'll put a counter on here. What's going on, Nick? Welcome to a live one. They have nothing. That's sweet. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm going to attack for a bunch here, and then I'm going to go ahead and Brutality, kill this Walking Ballista. Nope, I'm pretty much firmly against banning payoffs at this point. I think Watsy got it right, and banning payoffs is incorrect. I think you should let people play with sweet, powerful cards. Got him on the auto pass there. Green Sun is probably great in Titan Shift. I just smack them to 1 here, and then I have Snap Brutality to kill them next turn, right? I pride myself on being fair and balanced. Like, I call Watsy out on their mistakes, and let's be honest, they make a lot of really stupid decisions. But, like, I'm willing to admit when I think I'm wrong. You can permanently ban that one, because I'm assuming that username refers to Voldemort, so they can just get right on out of here. You think Grishelbrand can survive a looting ban? Yeah, probably. It'd be slower, but that's fine. That deck should be slower. Like, what play do they have there? I guess Thragtusk punishes me. I don't know. I really like having them dead to Snap Brutality. Jeff comes... It basically is, Burgle. You're right. You're right. I know, Ziptic. It is a little bit insulting to Harry Potter, but it gets the message across. It gets the message across really well without actually saying a name. Yeah, Sand's great, right? Disruption, clock, disruption. More disruption and clock. Sand's like a damping sphere away from being everything we want in this matchup. People who, and this is something very common people want to play with mono high power level cards and don't understand the implications that playing with only high power level cards has. They just don't get it. So I'm going to take their Nature's Claim here because this way I can play Bitterblossom next turn. They're going to have Tron on 3 and I'm going to roll the dice and hope they don't hit a Karn or whatever here. But I want to stick my Blossom, and then we can stroke the Ugin. Nice, extras. Congrats. If you don't understand the reference, Nom, your life is happier for it. Don't worry about it. There's some risk here, but I think playing scared and not giving ourselves a window to stick a clock is the easiest way to lose this matchup. Remember, it's not just the disruption that wins you these games. It's the clock that gets paired with the disruption. So, a lot of people, I feel, tend to miss on the you need to kill them portion of these games. Alright, so do I play this tap now? Because they're like almost certainly slamming Ugin next turn. I'm going to shock this in. We're very likely not going to need that 2 health to win this game. It's a Bitterblossom in play. It's promo art. That's my opinion. In fact, I think any deck that can kill on turn 2 or turn 3 is pretty reasonable in Modern. They might just go like Factory Pass here, because I like obviously have Counterspell. But if they go Factory Pass, the Vendilion Clique comes in and we just get to race them. Yeah, if they don't play into the stroke, we're slamming the Clique. And so this is subtle, but the reason why I shocked this Watery Grave in here, as opposed to playing the island, is because shocking the Watery Grave in on 4 represents Cryptic Command really hard. Whereas if we wait a turn and play the island untapped, we're less telegraphing what we have in our hand. So by waiting, I'm telegraphing Vendilion Clique this turn. Oh god, did they hit their World Breaker? They hit their World Breaker. Oh, that's unfortunate for us. This is not good for the hero, but definitely have to stroke that. Yeah, so basically I get to telegraph Vendilion Clique as opposed to telegraphing Cryptic Command. And like the cost is I could potentially have cost myself 2 points of health here if I like draw a bunch of untapped lands. But I think the risk to reward is worthwhile there. I think telegraphing Cryptic Command gives our opponent more information than telegraphing Vendilion Clique does. Stever MTG, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. I really appreciate it. This is terrifying because it means they have multiple threats here, which means this Clique is not going to be able to take away their only threat next turn. Really need to like rip one of our damping spheres here. The reason why I stroked there is because I need to kill my opponent. I'm not going to win that. They're not going to be attacking. They're not going to be attacking with their thing. They're going to be leaving it back to block my stuff. 2-drop. Thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Worldbreaker has reach, correct. Yeah, Worldbreaker blocks my Vendilion Clique. Alright, so they're gonna get Worm Coil us this turn because we lost a land last turn. Yeah, we're gonna click in the draw step because we can't beat this Ugin. And then we're gonna try and flop around against this Worm Coil for a little while. We're not dead anyways. We have 2 Cryptic Commands in our hand. Like, this is the tempo aspect of the tempo deck. Like, we're gonna tap draw their team a couple of times, and if we fade a couple of draw steps here, which is hard against Tron, but if we fade a couple of draw steps, we're definitely in a position to be racing here. Like, we definitely can't race something that's blocking our creatures. I could potentially race something that's not blocking our creatures. Deal. Alright, they have Urza's Factory and then 1 card we don't know. Let's go. We got 5 power in play. Oh, yeah. Smoke if you got him, chat. Smoke him if you got him. That card's in our deck for a reason. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alright, don't peel back on me. Don't peel back on me here. Just die. Please just die. Please just die. Please just die. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. That was, remember when we were like, this is probably better than this is probably better than a Collective Brutality? Turns out, almost certainly better than a Collective Brutality. Ooh, 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 that's tasty. Oh, that's tasty. Oh, I didn't activate the Mutavault because I want to hold up Cryptic Command. This Assembly Worker token is sweet. This has been a good league. This has been a good league of, if you haven't caught this whole league, the whole league's been like sets of quality. Even the match we lost was just like quality sets of Magic the Gathering. So as always, everything goes up on my YouTube channel. And this deck, I'm gonna plug my website here really quick while I wait for a match. This deck has a page on my website. So if you go to jeffhoagland.com/decklist, I believe I put this one under fan favorites. Search for tempo. I don't remember where I put it. I forgot to tag it as tempo. God, this website is terrible. Why would anybody go here? All right, fan favorites. Blue Black Fairy. So I got a deck list up here. There's a deck list here that you can easily grab. There's a playlist here with all the times we've played this deck in the past and a short description there. I'll add the tempo tag after the stream's done today, so it's easier to find when you search. MTG buzzwords, right? Actually, WordPress is great and really fast, so I'm going to go ahead and just log in and update that now. Look at that. Look at that. All updated. It's a little slow. It's probably fine. The unbanned Stoneforge Mystic. Do you plan to have a stream of just Stoneforge Mystic deck? Of course. Of course. Look at that. Look at that. They cast a foil card and Moto locked up. Some things never change, chat. Some things never change. All right, let's just shoot that real quick. Enjoy the Bloodbraid Elf for half a second here. Just nothing but the best. I'm gonna stand up while we log in. The 20th is the next banner restricted list update, I believe. Oh. Check your stops, Malv. You have stop set at the bottom of the screen. All right, it's coming back slowly. Are we good? Down here, you have stops that you can set in the damage settings. All right, what did we draw? We drew another land. I'm gonna do this. I think I have to fetch a basic swamp here. Seriously? It's the first time I've had it crash back to back like that. Now they're just trying to time you out, right? Are we back? Are we good? Guess who's back? Back again. Moto might be back. Tell a friend. Huh. Let me read your question again, Malv. I'm not able to play creatures affect pre-damage. Do you have a stop on the blocker step? I don't get priority after blocks. You need to stop on the blocker step. I misread your question. I'm going to take snap here. If we draw a Brutality or a Fatal Push, we'll be in a pretty good spot. Yeah, if we're winning, it will probably be a long game. I agree with that. Drawing more lands and not any of our cheap interactions. A little bit bad here for us for sure. I wonder if they're putting us on a control deck being aggressive with this. They must be. So they have Nimble, Bolt, and Sprite up here. Gas down. Fatal Push. Fatal Push is not bad here. Fatal Push means that if they flash an Obstructionist at the end step, I get to crack this fetch for a Watery Grave and then push it off a cliff. I'm doing well, Fitz. Life is swell. And if they just want to sit here and play like cat mouse with this fetch land, like more power to them. So they have Obstructionist and Stiflebird here. And Spellstutter. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and push this inside of combat. Because that way my opponent is incentivized to Spellstutter Sprite us. And then I get to resolve both my fetch lands, just like not care about their bird. And then I get to hold up Cryptic Command, which is decent for us. Thoughts on Squelch in Modern? It's much, much worse than Nimble Obstructionist. And Dimple Obstructionist is very good. I don't want to escalate this because if I escalate it, my opponent will be able to like counterspell it, and then I'll lose my discarded spell. All right, well, let's get both of these on out of here. I grab an island here. And then I think I'm going to fetch shock here and escalate this. Spinning the Creeping Tar Pit. They have exactly Spell Snare will be said, but they only have 2 of those, so let's just try this. Deal. Please don't miss, please don't miss, please don't miss. Perfect. Alright, so they have Island, Obstructionist, Sprite. And now this is good for us. I think they shouldn't have let us untap here. And this is one of the mistakes people make when playing flash decks a lot of the time. You don't have to play your instants at instant speed. So now I get to like Cryptic Command whatever they play at the end of the turn. There's a deck list on your screen. If the Stream Decker extension is not currently working for you, you can type !deck to get a link directly to the deck list in chat. I always do my best to make information accessible to folks here. We basically just need to make sure we don't get burned out this game from here on out, which hopefully shouldn't be too difficult. Clicks a sweet draw. Take a peek at what they've got up here. Non-zero chance this dies in response. Playing a Flash Mare is easier when you know most of the cards in their hand, though. So let's just have this happen. Double Lightning Sprite. I think I just let them keep those. Never forget, the best Vendilion Cliques are the ones where you let them keep all their cards. The best Vendilion Cliques are the one where you go, yeah, you can keep those. And now I get to snap Brutality and escalate it. So I'm going to go ahead and go Snapcaster, Brutality, take your Wizard's Lightning, drain you for 2. Do I want to bin? I think I want to bin this Cryptic Command. So that way I can just start getting aggressive here. Because, like, I want to just kill them, right? And, like, these keep their threats in check, which is nice. I might be uniquely qualified for dismantling the deck our opponent is playing. So we'll play this. Their last card is Spellstutter Sprite. They're going to fire up this Mutavault to try and block. We'll cast down the Mutavault. They'll Spellstutter Sprite the cast down. We'll push the Spellstutter Sprite in response to the Sprite trigger. And then they'll take 4 and have nothing. And we'll have a bunch of creature lands and a Snapcaster. Or they'll just take 4. That also works for me. Deal. Go. Cast you down. I assume we're going to see activate Mutavault, play Spellstutter Sprite here, and then we get to push the Mutavault and blow them out. That line would have worked, Foxicon, because it checks upon resolution. Spellstutter Sprite is an intervening if clause. Believe it or not, I know how Spellstutter Sprite works. So like here, I'm going to Fatal Push the Mutavault in response to this trigger, and then when Spellstutter Sprite trigger resolve, it's going to go, I have one fairy, this spell costs 2, it's not going to get countered. So it's important to know when you're playing both with and against Spellstutter Sprite. Intervening if clauses. This is why I love playing creature land decks, by the way. Just like, we've got all these lands in play, but that's fine, because they kill you. Creature land enthusiast Jeff Hoagland, right? Ain't that the truth? I can fire this up, and fire up the other one, right? Fire these, and then I have 3 left over. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Tar Pit is very good, I agree. Tar Pit and Mutavault are parts of the reason why this deck is really good. Believe it or not, I am not YouTube support. So if you're having issues with YouTube, I would recommend contacting YouTube support. You meant Twitch. Believe it or not, also not Twitch support. Unless you mean you're trying to watch my past archives. My past archives are only viewable to my subscribers. If you would like to watch my past archives as a non-subscriber, you should watch them on YouTube, where I cut them up and do some editing for you. The only reason my archives exist at all on Twitch is so, in case I have a local recording issue, they're backed up there. You're all the support I've ever needed. Alright, so we're going to trim Cryptic Command here. And probably Thoughtseize. Dispel's probably fine in this matchup. I think I like boarding like this. Sower's definitely not good enough. They have infinite lightning bolts. Yeah, let's do it. In the last month, I've probably learned more here than I have from most teachers. You know, it's funny. I always hoped I'd get to put my teaching education to good use someday, but I never thought it would be like this. I already boarded out Cryptic Command, Misfortune. I don't think Negate's better than anything else that we're doing. So, basically, in my experience, we're the control deck in this matchup, and our goal in our role as the control deck is to kill actually everything our opponent puts into play. And I think every card we put into our deck that isn't killing everything my opponent puts into play comes at a real cost to us. I'm going to take the remand here. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate everyone being here. Yeah, Verdict is better than Devastation Tide, Justin. You want cards that actually take things off the table. God, that feels good. Gosh, that feels good. It feels so pure, chat. Just pure, unadulterated goodness. Weebadelvin, yep. So I'm gonna snap Inquisition next turn, which will give me a window to... Well, now I get to just naturally Inquisition them, and then I can Collective Brutality this. That's my opinion on Vengevine. I think the deck's really sweet. I think it's super powerful. I think if you want, it doesn't actually answer those problem permanents is the issue, Justin. It like delays them, but if you want answers, you want to play cards like Teferi or you want to play a card like Teferi or Detention Sphere. What's different about this build of fairies that lets it actually win? There's no counter magic in this deck. That's the big thing between this build and other builds of fairies that I've watched online or looked at online. I'm not playing counter spells because counter spells outside of Spellstutter Sprite and Bitterblossom or Spellstutter Sprite and Cryptic Command generally aren't fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna snap Brutality this. How does that change my bridge vine list? I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. This deck, also another difference is that a lot of fairies lists that I've looked at aren't playing for Vendilion Clique because they're afraid of getting legendary cards caught up in their hand. Vendilion Clique kills your opponent very, very quickly. If they leave Vendilion Clique in play, you're generally okay having a dead second Vendilion Clique in your hand because they're going to die. Ooh, do they draw a counterspell here? Not remand. Don't be remand. Don't be remand. Don't be remand. Any other counterspells, whatever. Don't be remand. Why kill Delver over the Grim Lava Man? Because I was worried about them racing me, but maybe with the Vendilion Clique that was just like silly. I think I misassessed the priority of the threats here. I agree with the discussion that is currently occurring in chat. But I prioritized killing the wrong thing, especially with the context of my cards that I have. Thank God this is a no justice stream. You know that, chat? Yeah, the Bitterblossom art is fantastic. I agree. Alright, so if they activate this, I'm going to go ahead and click first here because I want to make sure this isn't going to get, like, dispelled or negated. Those are cards they could have reasonably brought in against us. No, that was constructive and specific. I like constructive and specific feedback. I make lots of mistakes while playing. Magic's a very complicated game, and playing while distracted and streaming is very distracting. You're gonna make even more mistakes. Like, that's just how the game works. So I appreciate specific constructive feedback. How about we push you off a cliff? And then, honestly, I think if they attack with the Snapcaster Mage next turn, I'm just going to trade my Clique for it, because then Bitterblossom can take over the game. Just keep my health a little high. Fourth, let's not talk negatively about specific content creators. It's okay to not enjoy other people's stuff. I don't understand the need for people to like go in and like actively take time out of their day to crap on something that someone else is making. If you don't like the free content that someone else is making, maybe just don't watch it instead of being overtly negative about it instead. Did your removal spell? That's fine. Yep. Again, we just want to take every game action possible to elongate this game, because we're definitely more likely to win as the game goes long. Take a couple hits here. We're actually a little bit behind now, which sucks. Never mind. JK, LOL. I have a 4-4. I have a 4-4. The 4-4 has entered the building, chat. Alright, Time Walk 4-4. Would like to cast my Time Walk 4/4. Yes, Justin. You are very much allowed to criticize everything I do. The people with crowns, y'all are in for over $1,000. Feel free to throw all the feces my way that you want. You've earned it. That crown life, right? I agree, Burgle. I think Mistbind Clique is the biggest reason to play this over any other deck in the format. The card constantly overperforms. Like, Restoration Angel is close to being good enough just as like a 3/4 flash flyer. The fact that like this is a 4/4 flash flyer with like upside is huge. First 3-year sub, Tumos. I believe you are correct. Can people with crowns get timed out? Only if they ask for it. I just take this hit, right? I just like 5 them here. Oh, lordy! Lordy! Alright, well, we were behind for half a second. The sword of my people. Whip. Oh, Justin. We found a piece of candy. We found a piece of candy. This card's really good against burn, believe it or not. And they are basically a burn deck. Did you board in a braid? Probably not. They have negate. There's like no way there's a braid in their deck, right? I will take this Snapcaster Mage, please. So, if we win this, and it looks like we're going to, we'll be 4-1 in this league with Blue-Black Fairies. And the one match we lost was super close against humans. We had 5 outs to kill them on the last turn of Game 3. That's archetype, like, consistently impressive. A lot of fun. I really wish we had a Black Lightning Bolt that could play. I feel like this deck's like a Black Lightning Bolt away from just, like, being completely busted. By completely busted, I mean, like, tier 1. It's definitely playable how it is now. Honestly, I feel like this is pretty well put together as is. The Sower of Temptation was really sweet. I think if you're expecting to play against Bridgevine, I think if you're expecting to play against Bridgevine and other graveyard decks, you need some graveyard hate in the sideboard. I would probably fit in like Surgical Extraction and Nihil Spellbomb potentially, probably over like Batterskull, a Dispel, maybe the fourth Brutality, maybe the third Sphere, probably the third Sphere. Yeah. Probably 3 to 4 pieces of graveyard hate if I wanted to. Cage is not good enough for... No, it's not. It's funny. We had a humans player play Cage on turn 1 against us on Bridgevine, and we had like 12 power in play on turn 2 still because of Bridge from Below. So... I feel like Leyline of the... I really hate Leyline of the Void in decks without Faithless Looting, but I guess we have Collective Brutality, which makes it, like, maybe passable. So, yeah, maybe if you know you're going to play against a bunch of graveyard decks, you just, like, shove four Leyline of the Voids in the sideboard. I can see that being reasonable. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the main deck. I think the 7 creature lands is great. The 25 land count is great. No cantrips is great. Minimal counter spells, just the sprites. The Cryptic Command is very reasonable. Yeah, you know. You want to see more of this deck? It's the first time you've seen us play it. Be sure to check out my deck list page, jeffhogan.com/decklist. You can find blue black fairies in there. Stroke is important for beating Titan Shift. You can click Leyline away. Yeah, you should just play Leyline. Leyline and Collective Brutality and Clique mean you should just play Leyline. I like that a lot, Josu. That's a good catch. Yeah, if the Graveyard Hate, if you know you're going to play against Graveyard decks, put some Leylines on the board. We should play Blue Eye Control. We had to cut the line donation, actually, Justin.